GBH Hair Relaxer Cream,
and Crickover Wines and Champagne.
And say, I want to do a breast lift or a breast lift. I go ahead and do it. I want to do this and I go ahead and do it. No, not necessarily because that doesn't please a man. But a lot of women too want to please the man, but they're afraid to do it because they don't have the confidence. People are telling them everything you do, you are doing for man. So they feel little because they feel like they don't have their own opinion. I have my opinion. I want to get up and go and do something. I do it. I attract the kind of man I like. I go on my vacation. I enjoy myself because that's where I would be.
And it's a pleasure to be your host for tonight's show. But as per usual, I'm never in this alone. I'm always with my ladies, my girls, and usually with the usual suspect, host and guest. And of course, I'm privileged to have my girls, Abna Mwe and Ganyabi Achawa. Ladies, how are you feeling?
We're good.
Did you guys miss me?
Of course.
Hey.
Beautiful Donna. So okay, so if you're
Oh, we're very free.
And then me feel we
And this show is proudly brought to you by GBH Hair Relaxer Cream and of course Crickover. When it comes to all your occasions, when it comes to all your housewarmings, house parties, your office, lounge, everything, all occasions, Crickover should be your go-to. They have the premium wine, champagne, and of course whiskey's best in the game. And tonight we have a gorgeous lady here, and she goes by the name Jahara. It's a pleasure to have you tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, isn't she gorgeous?
Yeah.
Just take in the face, please. Cameraman, zoom the beauty, please. This one is premium or nothing, okay? It's a pleasure to have you on board. This is Toast, and like I already introduced, this is Ganyabi Achawa, the ever gorgeous. We also have Lodina Esa, aka Abna Mwe, and you have Mami Inimwabeko. And this show is always welcomed and done nicely when it comes to us having our Crickover moment.
Definitely.
But before anything, I would like to ask you, how do you feel about tonight's show being sat here with us?
It's like I'm excited.
Okay.
The topic's very intriguing, and I think I'm ready for it.
Okay.
It's like a different space. It's like the kind of conversations that we kind of don't want to have.
Avoid having here.
Yeah, it's there. It's like the elephant in the room. So
That's
today
right.
we're just going to bring the elephant and we're going to deal with it.
Okay, I'm sure someone's at home probably wondering, who's this beautiful lady? What does she do? What's she about? They're probably curious. Can you let us know what you do, what you're about, and everything we need to know about your brand per se?
My name is Jahara Osman. You can just call me Jahara. I'm the founder of Premier Aesthetic Clinic. So it's basically cosmetic surgery. So we do both non-invasive and invasive surgeries.
Okay.
I started this business this is our 5th year in 2020, and right after COVID. So it was an area that everyone was at home,
Right.
We all just came out of the house and everybody just gained like 10 kg. And we're all looking for a way to bring ourselves back. And then I've always had the idea in my mind, but after COVID, I was like, I can't go to America. I can't go to Dubai. Where am I going to get my fillers done? So I'm like, you know what? It's time to, bring it in, and it's time to let people know. Because a lot of people that I had that conversation with had no idea what I was talking about when I talk about certain treatments, and they had no idea. So I was like, yeah, it's time to let people know that.
It sounds like a huge step to take, especially in our community. How long would you say it took you for you to slowly wear into this particular role, and what was the process like? Because I know it's something that a lot of Ghanaians will probably frown on. Like you said, now I think a lot of people are well acquainted by the whole idea of it. But back then it was like, why would you want to do that? You're beautiful already. Excuse me, even if you're not nice, grandpa, now they'll still find a beauty in you to tell you that you are beautiful. You don't need to do fillers. If you don't have what they'll tell you that, oh no, but your shape is fine. Meanwhile, they know deep down that body right. How long did it take for you to actually wear into the idea, or for Ghanaians to actually embrace you as a brand?
I mean, I think that initially I had the idea not to push anything. So I work in such a way that I don't tell people what to do. I rather advise a person, because we all have different things about ourselves that we want to correct. So you cannot say one person wants this and the other person would want that. But you mentioning that, do you remember there was a time where it was an abomination for a woman to wear jeans, trousers, or pants, and then you're always supposed to wear a skirt, and then when you wear jeans, trousers, it was a big deal. You're a woman, you're wearing trousers. Now it's like it's not a big deal anymore. So anything that comes into society, I think it's going to be the first time people are going to have to understand. They have to listen to you talk. They need more education. And I think that with time, people listening to it, people understanding it, they're starting to understand that it's not even anything. These things have been there for the past 20-something years, outside of Ghana, and it's not a big deal, and you could just go ahead and do whatever you want to do and just be yourself.
Just
the confidence is important.
Just be yourself. And what would you say has been the biggest hindrance when it comes to your brand? Without this, perhaps maybe you probably would have been even bigger than you are currently.
I think that with what I do, it's kind of hard for you to talk about it. It's some of the procedures that we do, it's kind of hard to talk about it. And people that do the procedures don't want to talk about it. So when you see one person do it, they're like, okay, don't tell my friend I did it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we have like...
Has anyone ever had you sign an NDA?
No, we actually do have in any clinic that you go, because we are registered with the Health Council.
Okay.
You have to sign a non-disclosure. So it's just like you seeing your doctor or anything. A person is not allowed to disclose. But then it's like, as women, we would do something and a friend would be, oh my God, you look so gorgeous. And be like, okay, yeah, I've been working out, I haven't been eating, but deep down, they've done everything, because they don't want you to look, they want to be the person to stand out in the room. So I think it's just us that, have that problem communicating.
Right.
And then also it's a subject of where you don't want people to feel like they are not enough. But then, there's something to boost your esteem, but not necessarily that you are not enough. You are enough. But if you want something small to just lift yourself up, it's
to cushion yourself.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that,
I'm not even gonna lie, I am so excited about tonight's conversation for many reasons. Because listen, I'm sure by the time you're done, you people will just be like, hey, my man, is that you? But honestly, I'm so excited, and I think this calls for a quick over moment. Ganyobi is given, so I think it's your turn to pop the bottle.
I will do that, darling.
But you don't sound Ghanaian at all. And you don't look it at all. Wow. You've lived here all your life?
I was born here.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a Kumasi girl.
Hey, Asantiniba.
I know I have nice money. You do not look Ghanaian at all, yeah. We're not fighting, so.
Pop champagne for the ladies.
But when it comes to I'm asking this because you're in the game and you have a wide experience. one of the myths you've heard when it comes to the brand, the company, the industry that you're in?
I think that it's dangerous. That's the first thing you would hear in a lot of side effects. When you look at the environment, you have cosmetic surgery. Even though it's cosmetic, it's not really something that is not done by doctors or nurses or people who are trained to do that. So it's just like you go into the hospital and asking your doctor, or your dentist, can I have teeth cleaning or everything. Once you go to the right person, you won't go to your gynecologist to have your dental work done. So once you go to the right person, I think that there's no danger in it. And you get the right information and you make the right decision that actually is tailored to you as a person and not just doing something because everybody's doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just tuning in, it's Toast right here on GHOne Television, a place where we have thought-provoking conversation. And of course, I'm joined by my beautiful ladies, Ganyabi Achawa, Lodina Issa, aka Abna Mowe, and we have Jahara in the building. Girls, let's toast to life as we take a quick commercial break.
And toast to the future.
On television, my name is Mami Nwabeko, and I am here with my gorgeous ladies. I'll start with Jahara, we have Ganyabi Achawa, we have Abna Mowe. And if you're just tuning in, please do well to get interactive with us on all our social media platform at GHOne Television, and on Facebook, GHOne Television, on Twitter, GHOne Television. Let's keep the hashtag going, hashtag Toast. Well, a latest survey reported a global increase in 3.4%, including 3.9 million surgical and non-surgical aesthetic procedures performed by plastic surgeons in 2023, with more than 15.8 million surgical procedures and more than 19.1 million non-surgical procedures were performed worldwide. The number of deaths varied from 1 to 17 per year, with the peak in 2020. The global cosmetic surgery market reached 88.9 billion in the year 2024 and is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 9.23%, potentially reaching 204.9 billion by the year 2033. This may be a lucrative sector, but could also come with some potential risk. Tonight on the show, we discuss the craze for cosmetic enhancement. Well, let me ask Jahara, since she's our guest for tonight. First of all, what is cosmetic enhancement?
I think it's basically when you say cosmetic without the surgery or non-surgery, even makeup is It's an enhancement.
Right, yeah.
You can use makeup to contour your face. Or when they talk about it in the medical term, we mean like any surgery or non-surgical procedure that you would do that is not medically necessary.
Right.
So you're not sick. You just want something that would, physically or outwardly make you look better or enhance something about your body. Sometimes it's not everything that we see. You have a cut, or some people get burns, and then they have to take some skin from some other part of the body and reconstruct the face. Yeah, it's considered plastic surgery, but it's not necessarily something that
So currently, what would you say is that particular cosmetic surgery that's in demand, the most requested for?
In Ghana, or when I say outside Ghana, I think the research shows that it was breast implants. That was like the number one.
Okay.
But in Ghana, it's actually, I would say it's BBL. And then the most common that, walk-in, walk-out procedure would be fillers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does any of this have any risk to it?
I think everything has a risk. It's hard for me to say, like, even taking paracetamol has a risk.
Let me rephrase this. How dangerous are fillers or any of these non-surgical procedures?
Okay, so I think fillers are the most non-dangerous procedure that you could do depending on who is doing it. Now, when I say who is doing it, mean that in Europe, you can actually go to the pharmacy and buy fillers without prescription because it's considered a vitamin.
There's this whole craze about women actually get a lot of these changes or enhancement done to please men. But I want to understand why the sudden craze for enhancements where body is concerned.
How do I start with this? Growing up, you are told that unless you're gay, you know that in future your mother will tell that you have to be a good girl so that you get a good man, blah blah blah. The boy too, in future you have to work out so that you get a woman. So from infancy, from our childhood till we're growing up, whether you like to admit it or not, we are quite programmed to satisfy the opposite sex. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's in the subconscious. That is why I was saying that when you go to a typical
So where's your fact to generalize this?
That's what. So when you're growing up, they don't tell that mommy, you are calling upon when you're man worry and can be each other.
Yeah, can be an
Oh my show, who go continue with you. Your mother never told you that be a good man, so you get a good man to come and marry you. They never told you.
No.
So just move on with your conversation. We're waiting.
Hey, they never told you to lead a good life so that you get a good man to come and marry you. How are you today? Are telling me this. And don't worry. Anyway, so like I'm saying, like you like even go like when you're going to like the mixed schools and the single schools, when you go there, you realize that the ones in the mixed school is like because the guy is there and the girl is also there, everybody's dressing well. But when we're in the single sex school, it's just we can sit here and lie and say I'm doing it for myself, and we're not doing it for ourselves. If it was just me, you here that is stuck on this earth, I don't think you'll find the need to impress me.
So you think women go under the knife to impress men?
Oh yes, there are stories.
No.
Wait, I said there are stories. Like the women who do the mommy makeovers. When they're telling their story, they're like, after 3 kids, I wasn't feeling sexy. I felt like my husband would not love me anymore, so I decided to go and do it. There are so many women who tell you that.
Not feeling sexy has nothing to do with.
I even know Ghanaian girls who have told me, ones that have done their bodies, who have told me that when they met their men and they had flatter tummies and wider hips, their men used to take them everywhere. Now the girls are coming, so they need to do things to impress them and to keep them.
I agree with you on that. Now, what it is like I, as a woman, if I'm with a man, I take it as a responsibility for myself to take care of myself in such a way that anytime my man sees me,
always be appealing.
I'm appealing to him.
So it's never for yourself?
It's for myself and for him because I want to appeal to him. But then, if the man is also doing something to appeal me, but by buying me gifts or doing certain things, that's why we say men actually
wants to be kept.
Society says men give women money, but women, when you give a man money, why is a woman giving you money? What did a man get in return? We are like the flowers of the society. When you go to anywhere in the world and you go on vacation, anyone asks, were the women beautiful? Of course, we need to have a society. Women in Ghana, we are the tourist attraction. Please.
I think, we
need to invest in us. We need to walk in the street. We need to beautify the streets and stop worrying ourselves about whether we're doing it for who or not.
So let's break this down.
So you want to tell me that if it wasn't for the opposite sex, mommy, you would have a life-threatening surgery just so that you want to wake up?
I would have for myself. Yes.
You would have a life-threatening surgery.
I always understand. So you think that some women, I'm trying to understand you, some women go under the knife just so that they can look beautiful to please a man?
I don't think I know.
So you think that
I don't think
I know. I don't think so.
I know. Women go under the knife to look beautiful for themselves.
Okay, so why would someone have a vaginal rejuvenation?
So why do you not going to have sex with yourself? Thank you.
So wait. Hold on.
So you think maybe so that she can enjoy sex more?
So wait, you think
she's the girl where somebody's
She's
the girl that they have been falling inside.
Wait, so you think women?
I would never agree.
So you think women also women also risk their life to give birth to impress their men?
It's actually not the same, because one thing
me continuing my lineage, my bloodline. You're comparing it to your big bottles.
How? Have you not seen that people? No, but women go out of their way to get an IVF done.
Do that.
Men also do the beard,
please women.
Yes, even now they are doing the whole heights, whatever.
Yeah, they do penile to please women.
Men do it too.
That might be a secondary reason, but if the primary reason of getting a cosmetic surgery is to impress a man, you have low self-esteem.
Thank you.
You do not love yourself.
Thank you.
You do not appreciate yourself.
If you appreciate yourself, you look where I lie down. Wait, now
you need a self-love coach. You need a self-love coach.
If you love yourself, would you go and do that surgery in the first place?
Why would I go and do a surgery for a man?
But why would you go and do it at all? I saying that God doesn't have sense. No, wait, it's for who? Why are you going to do it at all? Why?
Okay, so let me.
Why? If you are
just so that I can fall in love with myself.
That is, you have low self-esteem. You don't love yourself enough.
I do love myself. You don't. Go and do that. You're going to do that for a man.
If you love yourself,
I beg yourself,
you wouldn't
what are you talking about? You're going to die for a man.
If you love yourself,
I don't know you are.
I need that. If you love yourself, will you be there in the first place?
Because I want to look.
You don't like that part of it. I want to feel like that.
Please, I love myself.
I'm not doing that for a man.
Damn. Let's take a quick commercial break. Break. We'll be right back. Let's come to you.
Please do come to you.
So why the craze? Do you think women are truly doing all of this to please men? My sister, my beautiful sister.
No, I don't think women are going under the knife to be sexy for a man. I feel like we're now in an era where women are falling in love with themselves. Women want to become the best version of themselves. Women now understand that they need to be happy and need to be satisfied in themselves so that they can become a best version of themselves, to become a better sister, a better wife, and a better mother. Because statistics has proven that the quality of a child is highly dependent on how happy the mother is. If I want to look a particular way in an outfit, or I feel like, oh, my hips are not too wide, my legs are in a certain way, I am doing it for myself. C'est pour toi-même. Est-ce que vous comprenez ce que je dis?
Oui.
Voilà. I'm doing it for myself. Peut-être, maybe, the man might be a secondary matter, but if I want to do something, I would do it for myself. And I'm saying this because I've actually considered, doing the surgery, but I say that it's going to be after childbirth, because maybe after having kids, I might gain some fat here and there, and I still want to look good for myself. If I am not happy with how I look, it doesn't matter the surgery that I have. I can never be appealing to someone. You see, people are like energies. when you get into a room and someone comes, you feel the person's energy. You can have the most curvious body. If you are not happy with yourself, no one will be happy for you. So no, I'm saying that no. There might be women who would go for surgery to appease their man. But remember, if you go under the knife for a man because he likes that thing, people change. There are times where people want to eat apple, people want to eat pawpaw. If that man does not desire that shape anymore, would you go back again and redo it? First and foremost, do it for yourself. When you do it for yourself and he likes it or he doesn't like it, it's his own. Because there are men that we don't like everything about them. But because they are good guys, because we love them, we stay with them. So if they cannot stay with us, just like we are, they should drink Quick Over.
Master degree holder. Master degree.
What she's saying. I think that, I know you say you're not feminism, but everything you said is woke feminism. It's like we're in a society where a woman saying, I did something for my man is supposed to be wrong. Like, you're supposed to do it. Like, women, we can fight, we can do it. Honey, darling, I want to sleep. I want a man to work, come home, feed me. So that is what
I believe in.
I want to do that. So it's nothing wrong with me doing something to please my man. So psychology says that men are more attracted to the physical things. Women are attracted to emotion. So when sex is only pleasant by the physical, what is seen. But you would enjoy sex with a man depending on how he makes you feel. So you're talking from a woman's perspective, but when you're looking at a man's perspective, have we asked men what do they want? So the pretty girls always get the boys because they are pretty. And now we have an opportunity. We have the opportunity to be able to do what we want. Before, when a woman had hips and everything, the men were going all after her. You don't. But then you can also go, but there are people, what you have to understand, there are people who have money, but have not done cosmetic surgery. So that doesn't mean that there is a push for, if you have money, that means you want to do. Everyone have what they want to do. So if someone has money and they're rather doing their face rather than their hip, or someone has money but they've done their hip instead of the boobs, at the end of the day, even if they're doing it for their men, there's a little bit of something that they do it for themselves. But mostly, men are attracted to our physical bodies. We can debate it all that we want, but it is what it is. We cannot tell them. That's how their nature is. A man will see a woman's curvious body. It doesn't matter if she's wearing Shein or she's wearing Gucci. As long as the body looks good, that is what it is. Women rather do wear designer clothes to kind of intimidate other women, not men. But when it comes to like surgery and all of that, trust me, mostly how a woman's body, even working out, not everything is going to do surgery. What about the people that are on the treadmill like 2 hours, 3 hours a day because they want to stay lean because the man they are out with actually likes lean women. So that one, is that something? They also, they haven't gone under the knife, but they also doing something to please the man. Okay. And the men are also doing this.
To please the women.
Okay. Briefly, once again. You said something about the fact that everything I'm preaching is about feminism. Once again,
no, I didn't say feminism. I said woke feminism.
Okay, so for me,
just when you dance,
I am not for the agenda of that. The only thing I'm saying here is that no woman has to inconvenience herself primarily for a man. That's all I'm saying.
The question was, do women do it for men? We didn't ask what should women do.
Men naturally are selfish human beings and would always take care of themselves before you as a woman.
But then why is our father supposed to pay us?
Because that is what makes them masculine. Because that is what makes them masculine.
Please us, but we are not.
That is what makes them feel masculine.
So they should go ahead and please us while she sit there not doing
like,
her expected.
How about a woman who is naturally not curvy and she does? And okay, let's say, how about a man who does not?
But she's pleasing her man in different ways by rather cooking.
Or that man probably likes
What if she doesn't like cooking, but she's cooking because the husband likes her food?
Right. There's this notion that women that have done cosmetic surgery, they're out there living the best life. Is it that men love or are more attracted to women, or they're willing to spend more on women that have gotten some sort of enhancement done?
No, because they are confident women. That is why they are living their best life. Because they are confident enough to get up and say, I want to do a breast lift or a breast
You just
implant, I
contradicted
go
yourself.
ahead and do it. I want to do this and I go ahead and do it. No, not necessarily because that doesn't please a man. But a lot of women too want to please the man, but they're afraid to do it because they don't have the confidence. People are telling them everything you do, you are doing for man. So they feel little because they feel like they don't have their own opinion. I have my opinion. I want to get up and go and do something. I do it. I attract the kind of man I like. I go on my vacation. I enjoy myself because that's what I want to do. Someone would be like me and say, no, I'm not going to do it because if I do it, so and so will say this, so and so will say I'm pleasing my man, so and so will say I'm not confident. Whatever is so and so say, I do it because I want to do it, and I do it because if I'm with a man, I would do it to actually please him because that is my man, and I'm going to do whatever he has to do whatever it takes. If I want a designer bag and he goes in there, he's like, that is my woman, and he gets it for me. That is not because he's not sleeping at night. He's not sleeping at night because he has to make money to support me.
So what if you have another man and the man doesn't like
I'm not even going to go for that man who doesn't like what I have. I'm doing it because that's the man I want to be with. If I leave that man or he leaves me and he goes and I'm with another man, that man also saw me as what I was, and he came.
So what if that man then saw you the way you were, but came and was like, oh, I think I don't like this, it's too big.
So what would you do about it?
If I can reduce it, I'll reduce it.
So you keep reducing, increasing, depending on the man you're with?
Depending on, if I am with, that's what I'm saying, I'm confident. So I choose my man, the kind of man I want. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not pleasing him. If I'm like this, you come for me and you say, oh, you look beautiful, I like you. Yeah, of course you like me. You saw me and you like me. And whatever I've done to myself, I've done it. Because this is what it is. But then if I'm with a man and he's like, oh, Jara, I think your weight is a bit too much. But what most men would even say when they meet you is when they meet you and then you begin to gain weight or lose too much weight. And they're like, when I saw you, that's not how you looked. But usually when they saw you how you look, if it's enhanced, usually to please them, they don't complain. But when you lose weight,
to lose the thing
so if I'm slim and then all of a sudden I get big, you'll be like, oh, that's not the Jahara I met. You're too big now.
Okay, let's move away from this topic briefly. Let's talk about how expensive this procedure is. Let's take something like BBL and talk about it. Why is it so expensive? Number one, because, excuse me to say, it's like a normal surgery. You can't tell me that the tools that they're using is so expensive that they have to cost I know how much some of the procedures cost here in Ghana, but for you, tell us how much some of these procedures cost and why they actually cost so much.
I don't think they cost much when you look at it. Most of our surgeries that we do here, and even other part of the world, most surgeries are subsidized by the government. So when you go to Kolebu and you do a surgery and pay like 3,000 cedis or 5,000 cedis, it's the government who is paying most of the surgery for you. You are paying it because it's like a subsidy. But when it comes to cosmetic surgery, because you're doing it, it's not like a medically necessary procedure. You have to pay everything. So it's no different from... And most surgeries are supposed to even be more, like if you're doing a heart surgery or something, doctors can spend about 12 hours in the surgery room trying to operate you, which is going to be more expensive, but it's a medically necessary.
So has it been a day you've done maybe a procedure for a client and the client tells you that this was not the results I wanted?
Of course, you would, especially with fillers. You know, some people think, well, I want cheek, I want this, and you put it in like, oh, I don't think I want it. But then the good thing about it is you can instantly dissolve it. You know, so
instantly.
Yeah. So you can. So it's not like something that you can't correct. What you can instantly correct would be Botox, but then you can instantly correct it. But that is the thing. But when it comes to like the fillers and everything, these are products that I bought, you know, from maybe other countries. I don't know if it's manufactured in Ghana, but these are products that I bought, you know. So, you know, you have to use that product to perform the procedure on the person and everything. So all that cost tend to add up. And we have cheap fillers, we have expensive filler, depending on what. We have Korean brands, we have American brands. Just like every medication, we have a generic and the original. So the original will cost you probably like 3 times more than the generic. So it's up to you which one.
Okay, now let's talk about some of the risk when it comes to BBL. We've heard stories of, I don't want to mention the country's name, I don't want to mention the hospital's name, where they run a promo on BBL or surgical cosmetics promo.
Right.
And it turned out that that particular hospital ended up doing a shabby job and a few lives were lost. in cases like that, is it that they weren't really paying attention to actually catering for one patient, or maybe was it due to negligence, or was it due to them using cheap products?
I think one thing that we should all understand is don't play promo with your body. There's no discount when you are dead. So don't play promo. If you can afford it, just save to it and go to the right person, let the right thing gets done. In part, it's part of the patient's fault, because you would, if you are expecting a person who is charging a certain amount to do a procedure and is doing a promo and padding so many. It's not like an outpatient procedure where you just go in and it's small. Those things you can do promo on it. But if surgery, you need time, you need to prepare, you need to go under anesthesia. Then your provider needs to have time for you. So if he's doing a promo, meaning that he has so many people in line, he doesn't have time. One person finishes, the other person. So you have to think about that. And as people, we also have to understand that we can question our providers. You just don't go sit there and say, put something in. You're supposed to ask them, what product are you using for me? Is it approved? Can I see the box? What are my side effects? You look at the consent forms. It tells you all the side effects before, or whatever can happen before you sign it. And with the providers too, it's unfortunate that the aesthetic industry has become a growing industry. So you find a lot of people putting their ethics aside and going in for the money and then ignoring the health of the people, and just going ahead to do whatever they can just to get the money. But I think integrity comes in when you're actually sworn in as a medical practitioner to do what is best for the patient and not necessarily what's going to put money in your pocket.
Okay. Abna, what will it take for you to get your body done?
In all honesty, since I was young, I always wanted to do my body, because I always thought big hips, like that whole feminine physique was beautiful. And then I started watching documentaries because I was so interested. And I saw, especially with the BBL, I saw the things people had to go through. I saw some people dying on the table with freshly made bodies.
Yeah, you're right. It was a very dangerous
and I saw
surgery.
Yes, and then the funny thing is, you don't see that they are dead till you're done, and you're trying to wake them up, and you realize that really they are dead.
Because if a person is under, but you would know because there's a pressure machine on you if you're not breathing.
So sometimes they're done with the ones I watch, they're done with the body, but they're dead. And I asked myself, really, my life, or
I don't think it's necessarily BBL. Recently, did you see the article about this gentleman in was it Brazil or South America that had anesthesia whilst he was doing tattoo removal, and he died?
Wow.
Because it was painful. No, it was painful. You know, when you're removing tattoos, it's painful. Yeah. So he had to go under anesthesia, and he died. So it's not necessarily the surgery.
Sometimes the anesthesia.
Yes. But BBL, I would say, as someone in the industry, the most dangerous thing you could ever let anybody who is not a surgeon do for you is to transfer anything to your bottom area. Whether it's fillers, whether it's fat, is the most dangerous thing. Now, liposuction is not dangerous because it's just taking the fat. So you don't see anybody saying, oh, they died because they just had the fat removed. Now, when the fat is being transferred, that means that something has come out of your body and is being reintroduced. So bacteria can get in there, and
infections.
When you inject, if you inject it into the wrong tissue, the body can reject it. So when the body rejects it, it becomes like a sitting duck, and then it begins to rot. And so that's why you begin to leak. So that is the issue with anything that has to do with filling. Also, in terms of using fillers, there's a lot of fillers on the market that are not approved. There was these stories about Cardi B coming out to talk about that. That's even in America that you experience. How much more in other places where people are just trying to make quick money? And we've seen a lot of that where, these women actually went in and there was something like cement. K. Michelle came in with her own thing. The injector wants to make her money. It's not about you, because she's not. If a professional does it for you, if a doctor does your procedure, if something like that happened, he's going to lose his medical license that he spent about 8 years getting. So you can see the difference between why a person would not put the license.
I don't want you to move away from this topic. You have to remind me that the keynote is K. Michelle, so I can come back to it. But briefly, Achawa, what will it take?
Every time you get to me is briefly.
Because if I don't say briefly, your briefly is going to be brief.
Okay. What's the question?
What will it take for you to enhance any parts of your body?
Oh, one, if after birth I feel like I have, gained so much weight, I would try as much as possible to be in shape and, look good for myself. But I think we were talking about the fact that, men are, when I was growing up, okay, I felt that, girls with big R's and, big breasts were, people who men like. But growing up, I've seen people who are naturally curvy, but they don't even have people who like them or men who spend on them. So it's highly dependent on yourself, your confidence, how you treat yourself, and how you value yourself. You can have the biggest curves in the world. If you don't present yourself well, if you're not confident, the reason why you did that surgery will not be fulfilled. Yeah.
You just said, you said everything was apart from a man. But when you were making your statement, you had to add the men. You want to deny these men.
Let's move on.
No, you're not going to move on. Why? No, you can't be petty as a host. Are you going to do this host thing, or you're going to be biased?
Yes.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it well or not?
Stand up for
Put
your
your
man.
sentiments aside. Let's be honest. You see, we keep saying that there is no men. But you said that when you were growing up, you thought the girls with the curvaceous bodies and all that were the ones the men liked. It's when you grew up that you realized that, we keep denying the fact that we need this men and we want these men and we try to impress these men. When all it is from the foundation. We are doing most of these things because of these men, and these men are also doing it for us. It is the yin and the yang. We come together. So you can sit here and say what you want to say, but in the end, lie.
We'll still move on, Sha.
You go.
So back then there was this craze for women with they were doing BBL, big butts, large butts. A lot of the people, I can name about, in fact, over 5-10 people. Chloe, K. Michelle,
Kim
Kardashian. Black China per se came out to say, God called her, so she had to take everything out and all of that. It looks like we went through the phase where big butts was in trend. But now BBL is still in trend, but it's not about the big butts. It's about being curvy and not doing it too voluptuous.
So medications came in being used to lose weight. So all of a sudden, there was an easier way to lose weight without having to be on a treadmill and running and doing cutting your diet by yourself and forcing yourself in. So people started losing weight. And the minute you became slimmer, the butt that they had already done were not matching up to the body. So that's why most of them started removing the butt. Now, the people that actually removed it because of was causing them complications were someone like K. Michelle, because she actually had to surgically had the butt area open up and removed the content in there, because the content in there was actually something like the form of a cement, which the body doesn't accept. That's why when I'm speaking about filler, I told you that it's a product that goes into the body accepts it. It kind of metabolizes it. So if your body doesn't metabolize something, that means the body doesn't recognize the thing. So when you do a knee replacement and you put a patch in there, it stays there, it's in the bone, it doesn't come out. So the injectables that are being injected in the area, you need to know what is the base ingredient of that injectable. So people have come to me and said, well, I went to an injector, she never showed me what she was injecting, she was hiding it, and all of a sudden she brought it in syringe and I said to them, anytime your injector is hiding the product from you, they're not injecting the right product into you. Because if they're injecting the right product into you, they'll be so confident to show you the product, because it's expensive and they want to show you they're doing a good job. But if it's cheap and it's off-label or on the market, they will hide it and inject you. And the consequences, some of them you cannot imagine, because if the facility is not registered, you cannot, unless you take them to the police station, it's hard to take them to the agency, because you as a person, you're responsible to ask the person who is injecting you what their qualification is.
So you don't think BBL is, the craze for BBL is gone? It's just because of COVID and the weight and then
the slimmer.
that is
So now we're
basically
doing
why.
it, but we're doing it a little less than we used to, and it's all the same to please the man. The men now are liking more slimmer women.
But why? But the men why is that their preference keeps changing like that?
It happens. Who is the golden age girl? Before it was Kim Kardashian, that was the golden.
The bombastic eyes.
Was the golden girl. At some time it was Marilyn Monroe. At some time it was Beyonce. Every girl wanted to look like Beyonce. When it was Ciara, everyone wanted to look slim. There's a poster girl being put on the TV, on the internet, and every man looks at her. And when we see men looking at that woman, that's when our minds go there and we're like, we want to be like that woman. So everybody start going in that direction. So I mean, it's.
Okay, and now let's talk about vitamin C and the collagens. It seems like it's a new thing, and right now here there's even infusions that you can take to get a glass skin, right? How safe are these?
Skin lightening, I know.
Yeah, how safe are these products?
Vitamins are actually naturally safe. We take vitamins.
And the skin lightening
orally.
Okay.
Every vitamin, except I don't know what other facilities may be given, but every vitamin is actually natural in the body. So as we age, we tend to lose certain vitamins like collagen. We tend to lose certain vitamins that give us energy, so our energy levels become low and all of that. So we tend to boost it with these vitamins. The only thing is when you take vitamins orally, your body is just going to take a small amount of it and metabolize the rest, so you don't get as much of it. So when you put it into an IV, it goes directly into the vein. The body kind of takes it, right away.
And what's the risk with this?
There's no risk. If you're injecting the right vitamin, there's no risk in it. There's something called vitamin overdose, but that is very rare, because your body will just naturally take what it needs and then reject. If you're doing it with the right person, your doctor, your nurse, or whatever, they know about these and they will guide you how much. Sometimes you have to do a test so we know how much, what you need. If you're not sleeping well, you can be doing magnesium. If you're having hangover, you can do glutathione and vitamin C. If you're doing drugs and stuff, we have these vitamins we can give you to help you ease the cravings. If you're wanting to lose weight, we have vitamin stress even. You need your D's and your K's and everything. So, but the skin lightening is the
dangerous one.
No, it's actually not. It's actually the Craze. Everyone wants to, lighter. But which is like, I mean, we tend to see lighter women as more beautiful. I don't know why, but that still goes to the men. The men are attracted to lighter skinned women, and so our mothers started bleaching.
Their skin.
The bleaching then. The mothers were bleaching in order to look light skin, and then they attract the men. So I think that is what it is. But glutathione and vitamin C, just the side effects is you reduce your melanin. But trust me, your melanin is the most important thing that a black girl you could have above every other skin, because that is what protects you from the sun. That's what keeps your skin, glowing. Even when you're 50, 60 years, you're not wrinkling and all of that. That's what keeps you, in perfect.
So the glutathione is bad for melanin?
No, glutathione is actually good. So it's a vitamin that was used to, vitamin C and glutathione was used to treat AIDS patients, because when they get AIDS, they start to lose their beauty, they lose weight. So when you give it to them, they plump up and don't look that. But the side effect of it is lightening, because it reduces the amount of melanin that is produced in your skin. But then it's actually a vitamin. It's naturally existing in your body already. But a higher dose reduces your melanin.
Achawa, gone are the days where we used to... The prime definition for beauty was the natural beauty, where someone will see you without makeup or see you in your fresh, state and be like, oh, this lady's beautiful. Sometimes they'll even like, oh, your eyes are named to, men used to appreciate women just the way they are. But now it seems that the whole idea of natural beauty... There's but now the whole idea... No, but back then, our older cousins and aunties used to go out and just line their lips and pop, and they were beautiful. I see pictures of my auntie.
There were no beautiful, but I'm just saying there's Instagram now, because the person that's supposed to see you and say you're beautiful is not comparing you to a girl he saw on Instagram or on Snapchat, and he's comparing.
Who was using filter?
I mean, that is why men are very visual. It doesn't matter if it's fake breast, fake butt, fake lipstick, fake hair, as long as it looks good.
So you don't reckon that the standard of natural beauty is slowly disappearing in our society?
I don't think even doing fillers and stuff is not natural beauty, because it's natural. Is it? Are you not the same person that you are?
Are you sure it's natural?
No, you know
Is that natural?
Are you a different
That's why I'm asking a question. Is it natural?
What do you mean by natural?
Mommy, is it natural?
It's just my life.
Yes, please. So do you think that the whole idea of natural beauty is slowly disappearing from our society?
No, I don't think so. People are embracing their natural beauty. It's all dependent on the person, okay? And I like the fact that you were talking about the light skin issue, all right? So for me personally, this is something that I have been battling with. I always felt that like being light skinned was going to make me beautiful. It took time to realize that I am dark and that's who I am, and I've embraced it and it's working perfectly for me. So it depends on the individual. It depends on what you want. It depends on how you want it. I think no one should define what beauty is supposed to be, because there are people who are naturally curvy. There are people who naturally have breasts. There are people who naturally have calves. We should identify what is unique about ourselves and then let's enhance it. If you have big bust, that's your unique selling proposition. Use it.
Selling to who?
Like when I say unique selling proposition, not necessarily.
The two of you are just the two of them are really trying.
I use unique selling proposition.
Honestly,
No, I get where you're coming from. I don't know where I'm coming from. I now get where the shade is coming from. When I say unique selling proposition, I don't mean like selling to others, but that's what you have. Make it your own. When they say this is a unique selling proposition of this glass, maybe it's easy to hold, maybe it's easy to manipulate. So really, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, Abna, do you think the standard of natural beauty is slowly disappearing from our society?
Like she said, once there is something to compare to, then the world was not so small. Then Abuchi was Abuchi, Ghana was Ghana. But now because of social media, everything is so close, everything is so compact. You get to see everything and everybody. So now you're seeing the Filipinos, you're seeing the Americans. There are so many things to compare beauty to. Like you're seeing every race. It's like so many, so much. So yes, it will be quite difficult till now we're all left in our little bubbles and all we see is each other. Then we'll be able to appreciate each other.
This is not a conversation about, whether you're dark skinned, whether you are, light skinned. There are light skinned Ghanaians too that would say, maybe they're always saying black is beautiful and I'm light, so am I not also beautiful? You would think the insecurity is just coming from just you. But what about the other people that felt like, okay, maybe they need to go in the sun? Yeah, girls go in the sun to tan.
They tan all the time, not like fake tanning.
You know that white girls go in the sun to tan.
I'm not talking about
they
white
even buy
girls, like girls in Ghana,
sprays.
like African girls want to look dark. There
are girls who are light skinned that tan their skin because they're white too much. There are men also that say, I don't like it's too white. I want something that is a bit toned down. So it's not about that. But I say black women, we should be allowed to be confident to do what we want to do.
Right. Not for
instead of it's whatever it is, whether it's for a man, whether it's for ourselves, whether it's for our children, whether it's for
your choices.
Whatever. We should give the confidence in our society for people to be who they are. And then we should stop judging.
Yeah.
Because that's what actually tames us.
It's the judgment.
Yeah, it tames us. It takes our confidence away. It makes us low self-esteem. Why the white women are not judged about it? Most white women in America have done breast implants. And nobody talks about it as a topic to...
Yeah.
Okay, so the survey I shared earlier informed us on the number of deaths in cosmetic surgery generally. What are some of the risks and also the side effects when it comes to these procedures?
Day to day, you go to every hospital, people go in for just like minor surgeries and don't come back again. So, but then when you do doing your research, if you looked further, you would have realized that most of the death came from either doctors that were charging very low amount to do surgeries that were overwhelmed, or those who were not properly, accredited to do what they were doing. But most of the time, if you go to the right place, the right person, you should be able to do that. Okay. So yeah, so we'll now go on a break and then we'll come back soon.
Let's make a toast to the
Radio on GHOne television. My name is Mame Inimwaba from the first. Now I can claim this name. Thank you very much. And I am here with my beautiful ladies, Ganyobi Achawa, Abna Moway, and the ever gorgeous Jahara. We've been talking about cosmetics, cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's been a hell of a ride. But to unwind, tonight's game is called Where Do You Know? The pieces of paper in our hands have names of places in Ghana written on them. We have to give them clues without mentioning the place, and then let the other person guess the exact place. Are you ready, ladies? Did you get it?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. We'll start off with Jahara. She'll give me clues of where, what's on her paper, and I have to guess. When she's done, I'll give her clues of mine, and she has to guess. And then the other way round to the two besties.
Is it because today we didn't agree with each other, man? That you are doing with it. What is this?
Moving on, Jahara, let's start.
Okay. There's a place. It's by the water. It's out of town.
Adan. Is it for you?
No.
I'm the other part.
I have to guess.
Sorry, but give me back to back. Sorry.
Our ancestors were from there. And
Elimina Castle?
no.
Cape Coast?
Yes.
Okay. Second
So
one.
there's a place, like a house actually, and well, that's where all of Ghana. That's where we do our day-to-day government stuff.
Flagstaff House. Start. Thank the ever gorgeous Jahana.
One thing I realized is like she knows what she's talking about.
Promo. If you're going to do promo, you die.
But you are not doing promo. So when should we come? We will not do the live threatening one. When should we come?
You're always welcome.
That's a generic
She'll be like, please, I don't know them. Let them go back. So when do we come?
One a day.
What's the
Always
least?
welcome. We are located at around airport, residential area, very close to the prisons. Yeah.
It is the Mtiano now, dear.
Lastly, any last words for the young ones out there? Right now, I know it's become a trend, but I also feel like there should be some sort of caution and advice that should be given to the young people where cosmetic surgery is concerned. So any final words on that?
I would say that take your time, don't rush it, be research, ask questions, know who you're going to, and most of the consultations for these procedures, some of them are free, some of them cost very little, so you can move around as much as you can. You need to ask for qualifications, you need to ask for the product, you need to have no side effects, you need to know that something goes wrong, what structure does the facility have in place in order to take care of you, and then that would be. But don't go to just anywhere, just don't see anything on Instagram or TikTok and just, go for it. Yeah, I mean, you can, because there are doctors on TikTok advertising to you, but at least do your research and know who you're going to and ask your questions. And then,
lastly, your socials, how do we connect with you?
It's Premier Aesthetic Clinic on all social platforms, and YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, but we are mostly very active on Instagram. If you Instagram us within 10 minutes, we should be able to reply.
Okay, yeah. Johanna, it's been a pleasure to have you on board tonight. To my beautiful lady, GHOne Achawa and Sabina Moe. Thank you so much. And
Hey. Am I not beautiful, Johanna?
You are
gorgeous. I see striking resemblance. Hey, the two of us.
Thank you so much. And to Crickover, thank you so much for making this show possible. Like I said, if you are looking to have an occasion, a work occasion, a home, anything, please do well to contact Crickover. They supply you with the best premium wine, premium whiskey, and of course the best champagne right here in Ghana. Until next time, do have a pleasant evening. Goodbye.